Hello, my friend. Tonight we are traveling into the quiet halls of medieval castles, where young royal brides began lives they never truly chose. Before you close your eyes, take a moment to relax. Dim the lights, get comfortable, and let history gently carry you into sleep. Imagine waking before sunrise inside a cold stone castle. You are only 14 years old. Outside, church bells echo through the mist. Servants quietly prepare your wedding clothes while everyone celebrates, except you. Today is your wedding day. You have never met the man you are about to marry. Your marriage is not about love. It is about peace between kingdoms, power, and family alliances. Every smile you give is expected. Every step you take has already been planned by someone else. As the candles flicker across the castle walls, your heavy silk dress feels almost impossible to carry. Gold embroidery sparkles in the firelight, but beneath all that beauty hides a frightened heart. So tonight, let us slowly discover what life was really like for medieval royal brides. Take a slow breath, settle into your pillow, and let's begin. When the church bells finally rang, the castle became unusually quiet. The bride stepped into the long stone corridor surrounded by noblewomen, guards, and servants carrying the edges of her enormous dress. Every eye followed her slow walk toward the chapel. Colored sunlight passed through stained glass windows, covering the floor with soft shades of blue, red, and gold. Priests waited beside the altar while the groom stood silently in expensive robes trimmed with fur. They exchanged only brief glances because long conversations before the ceremony were uncommon. Latin prayers filled the ancient building, though many people barely understood the words. The marriage vows were short, yet their meaning lasted forever. Once spoken, the young bride's entire future changed, leaving her childhood quietly behind inside those cold castle walls forever. The ceremony ended with quiet applause as noble guests offered polite smiles and respectful bows. Soon afterward, the newly married couple walked slowly through the crowded hall, while musicians played gentle melodies on lutes, harps, and flutes. Long wooden tables overflowed with roasted meats, fresh bread, sweet pastries, and fragrant wine. Laughter echoed beneath the high ceiling, but the young bride remained calm and reserved. She understood every smile would be carefully watched by powerful relatives and foreign ambassadors. Every graceful movement reflected her family's honor. Between courses, poets recited verses celebrating loyalty, prosperity, and peace between kingdoms. Outside, villagers cheered, hoping this royal marriage would bring safer borders and better harvests. Inside the castle, however, the bride quietly wondered whether happiness would ever become part of her new royal life. After the grand feast, the castle slowly grew quieter as many guests retired to their chambers. Servants cleared the heavy wooden tables, gathered silver cups, and swept scattered flower petals from the stone floor. The bride finally escaped the crowded hall for a brief moment of silence. Standing beside a narrow castle window, she watched the evening sky turn soft shades of orange and purple. Far below, horses rested in the stable, while smoke drifted gently from village chimneys. Everything appeared peaceful, yet her thoughts remained unsettled. Tomorrow she would wake in a place that was now called home, surrounded by unfamiliar faces and unfamiliar customs. Every decision, every conversation, and every smile would shape her reputation as a future queen. Quietly, she whispered a simple prayer for courage before the long night began ahead. The following morning arrived with the distant sound of church bells and chirping birds beyond the castle walls. The bride awoke before sunrise because royal schedules allowed little extra rest. Her attendants helped her dress in elegant clothing suitable for her new position, carefully fastening jeweled clasps and smoothing every fold of rich fabric. Soon she was introduced to senior members of the royal household, each expecting perfect manners and respectful greetings. Every conversation followed strict rules shaped by generations of tradition. Even the smallest mistake could become the subject of quiet gossip throughout the court. Although everyone appeared welcoming, trust was earned slowly inside medieval castles. As she walked through the endless stone corridors, the young queen realized that learning palace life would require patience, wisdom, quiet confidence, and endless determination every single day. The days settled into a steady rhythm that rarely changed inside the castle. Every sunrise brought prayers, formal greetings, careful meals, and endless responsibilities. The young queen quickly discovered that her words carried great importance, even during ordinary conversations. Servants observed her habits, nobles judged her manners, and visiting ambassadors reported every detail to distant kingdoms. She learned the names of important families, remembered ancient customs, and listened more than she spoke. Quiet patience became one of her greatest strengths. During peaceful afternoons, she sometimes walked through the castle gardens, enjoying the scent of roses and fresh herbs growing beside stone paths. Those brief moments offered precious comfort before returning to crowded halls filled with expectations. Although surrounded by many people every day, she often felt surprisingly lonely within those ancient walls indeed. As weeks passed, the young queen began understanding the hidden rhythms of royal life. Grand ceremonies happened only occasionally, but quiet duties filled nearly every hour. She reviewed household accounts, supervised kitchens, arranged charitable gifts, and welcomed important visitors with calm dignity. Older ladies of the court shared advice collected through decades of experience, reminding her that kindness often achieved more than strict commands. She listened carefully, knowing wisdom usually arrived through patient observation rather than loud speeches. During peaceful evenings, candles flickered across the castle walls while scribes copied valuable books by hand. The queen sometimes sat beside the fire, reading prayers or embroidery patterns before retiring for the night. Though her responsibilities continued growing, she slowly gained confidence, discovering that gentle strength could shine brighter than jewels worn upon any royal crown. The castle chapel became one of the queen's favorite places because it offered rare moments of silence away from endless responsibilities. Early each morning, soft candlelight filled the ancient stone room, while quiet prayers echoed beneath the high ceiling. She often knelt alone, asking for wisdom, patience, and strength to guide her through unfamiliar challenges. Outside, the busy castle awakened with footsteps, ringing bells, and the sounds of servants beginning another demanding day. Inside the chapel, however, time seemed wonderfully still. Colorful stained glass painted gentle patterns across the floor as sunlight slowly brightened every corner. Those peaceful moments reminded her that even powerful queens needed quiet reflection. Carrying renewed courage, she returned to the royal court, ready to face another day filled with expectations, traditions, difficult choices, and graceful determination together. Life inside the royal castle changed with every passing season, bringing fresh traditions and new responsibilities throughout the year. During spring, colorful flowers brightened the gardens, and noble families gathered for celebrations honoring peace and prosperity. Summer filled the courtyards with music, tournaments, and feasts that welcomed visitors from distant lands. Autumn meant preparing food stores, collecting harvest taxes, and ensuring every servant completed important tasks before winter arrived. Cold winter months transformed the castle into a quieter place where great fireplaces burned from morning until night. Snow covered the surrounding hills, while icy winds rattled heavy wooden doors. The queen adapted to every season with quiet determination, learning that successful rulers remain steady through both joyful festivals and difficult hardships. Each passing year slowly shaped her into a respected and confident royal leader. The queen soon discovered that letters connected kingdoms more quietly than armies ever could. Messengers arrived almost every week, carrying carefully sealed messages from distant castles and royal courts. Each letter contained news about alliances, celebrations, trade agreements, or growing concerns along neighboring borders. Before answering, trusted advisors discussed every sentence, because a single careless word might create misunderstanding between powerful rulers. The queen learned to write with patience, kindness, and remarkable precision. Her elegant handwriting reflected both education and dignity, qualities greatly admired during medieval times. While the castle appeared peaceful from outside, countless important decisions were made through ink and parchment instead of swords. Slowly, she realized that wisdom often traveled farther than strength, shaping history through thoughtful words written beneath the quiet glow of flickering candlelight. The queen gradually became familiar with the castle library, a peaceful room filled with shelves of handwritten books and carefully preserved scrolls. Although many people during medieval times could not read, royal families valued knowledge as a sign of wisdom and leadership. She spent quiet afternoons studying history, religious teachings, and stories of respected rulers who had shaped distant kingdoms. Monks copied each page by hand, decorating important letters with beautiful colors and delicate patterns. Every book required months, sometimes years, to complete. Holding one felt like holding a priceless treasure. The library became a place where the queen could escape endless ceremonies and responsibilities for a little while. Surrounded by silence and gentle candlelight, she discovered that learning never truly ended, even for those wearing the finest royal crown every day. The castle kitchens were among the busiest places in the entire kingdom, beginning their work long before sunrise each day. Bakers prepared fresh bread, while cooks stirred great iron pots hanging above glowing fires. Servants carried baskets filled with vegetables, herbs, cheese, and carefully salted meats from nearby storehouses. Every royal meal required careful planning, because unexpected guests could arrive without warning. The queen occasionally visited the kitchens, thanking hardworking servants whose efforts often went unnoticed by noble visitors. She understood that a well-managed household depended upon every person, not only kings and queens. Watching the organized activity reminded her that even the grandest castle relied upon ordinary people completing simple tasks with remarkable dedication. Quiet gratitude became another lesson that strengthened both her character and her growing reputation throughout the kingdom. One quiet evening, the queen climbed the highest tower to watch the fading light across the distant countryside. From that peaceful place, the kingdom looked calm and endless, with forests stretching beyond rolling hills and narrow rivers shining beneath the golden sunset. Tiny villages rested quietly among fields, where farmers finished another day of honest work. Smoke rose gently from warm cottages as families prepared simple evening meals together. The queen realized that every decision made inside the castle eventually reached those distant homes below. Good leadership meant protecting people she would never personally meet. Standing beside the cool stone wall, she silently promised to rule with fairness, wisdom, and compassion whenever possible. As darkness settled across the land, bright stars slowly appeared above, filling the quiet medieval sky with peaceful hope forever. As winter deepened, the castle settled into a quieter and slower rhythm. Thick snow covered the rooftops, while icy winds whispered around the ancient stone walls throughout the long nights. Inside, enormous fireplaces burned constantly, filling great halls with comforting warmth and the scent of burning oak. The queen spent many evenings beside the glowing fire, sewing fine embroidery or listening to traveling storytellers share legends from distant lands. Their tales spoke of brave kings, forgotten castles, mysterious forests, and impossible adventures beyond the kingdom. Although she enjoyed every story, she understood that real royal life demanded patience more often than excitement. Looking into the dancing flames, she reflected upon everything she had learned since arriving as a frightened young bride. The castle finally felt less unfamiliar and much more like home than before now. Spring returned at last, bringing fresh colors and gentle warmth to the castle grounds after the long and frozen winter. Birds filled the gardens with cheerful songs, while bright flowers opened beside ancient stone paths. The queen welcomed the changing season with quiet gratitude, often walking through the blooming gardens during peaceful mornings before her daily duties began. Gardeners carefully planted herbs used for cooking and healing, while fruit trees slowly awakened beneath the soft sunshine. Every corner of the castle seemed renewed with fresh life and hopeful energy. Watching nature awaken reminded the queen that every difficult season eventually came to an end. Just as winter always gave way to spring, fear could slowly become confidence, and uncertainty could grow into quiet strength through patience, kindness, and faithful perseverance with each passing day ahead. The queen soon learned that patience was one of the greatest virtues expected from every royal bride. Important decisions often required weeks of careful discussion before anyone reached an agreement. Advisors debated quietly, messengers traveled across distant kingdoms, and trusted nobles considered every possible outcome before offering their opinions. During these long waiting periods, the queen continued her daily responsibilities without complaint. She greeted visitors warmly, supported charitable work, and encouraged harmony within the royal household. Her calm behavior slowly earned the respect of people who had once doubted her youth and experience. Over time, they recognized that true leadership was not measured by loud commands or grand displays of power. Instead, it grew through quiet wisdom, steady character, thoughtful actions, and unwavering kindness shown consistently to everyone around her every single day. Years passed quietly, and the young bride who had once entered the castle with uncertainty gradually became a respected queen, admired throughout the kingdom. Her confidence did not appear overnight, but grew through countless ordinary days filled with patience, responsibility, and thoughtful choices. She remembered every lesson learned from experienced advisors, faithful servants, and the peaceful moments spent alone in the chapel and gardens. The castle that had once seemed enormous and unfamiliar now felt warm and welcoming, filled with familiar faces and cherished routines. Visitors often praised her gentle manner, wise judgment, and sincere compassion toward everyone, regardless of rank or wealth. Looking back upon her journey, the queen realized that true greatness rarely arrived through dramatic moments. Instead, it quietly emerged through small acts of kindness, repeated faithfully every single day throughout an entire lifetime together. By now, the queen's quiet example had influenced many young noblewomen throughout the kingdom. They watched her graceful manners, thoughtful decisions, and calm confidence during both celebrations and difficult times. Instead of seeking attention, she encouraged humility, patience, and service to others. Her greatest achievements were often invisible, hidden inside daily acts of fairness, mercy, and quiet generosity. Children smiled when she visited villages. Elderly people blessed her kindness, and weary travelers found welcome within castle walls. Each passing season strengthened the bond between the crown and ordinary families. In return, the queen discovered lasting happiness through compassion rather than glory, proving that gentle leadership could leave the deepest mark upon history without raising a single sword or seeking applause from anyone at all, forever inspiring future generations with peaceful wisdom and enduring hope. The royal gardens remained the queen's favorite refuge whenever the castle became too busy or overwhelming. Winding paths led through colorful flowers, fragrant herbs, and carefully trimmed hedges where birds sang from sunrise until evening. Gentle fountains filled the air with peaceful sounds, making every visit feel calm and refreshing. Walking slowly beneath blossoming trees, she reflected upon the unexpected journey that had transformed her from a nervous young bride into a confident and compassionate ruler. She understood that life would always bring new challenges, yet she no longer feared the unknown future ahead. Every season had taught valuable lessons about courage, kindness, patience, and hope. As the warm afternoon sunlight faded across the quiet garden, the queen smiled softly, grateful for every ordinary day that had shaped her remarkable life with lasting peace and quiet contentment forever. One peaceful evening, the queen joined the royal family for supper inside the great hall, illuminated by hundreds of glowing candles. Long wooden tables displayed warm bread, roasted vegetables, fresh fruit, and fragrant herbs gathered from the castle gardens. Musicians played soft melodies, while conversations remained calm and respectful among nobles and honored guests. The queen listened more than she spoke, understanding that careful attention revealed far more than hurried words ever could. After the meal, she thanked the cooks and servants whose hard work made every gathering possible. Their surprised smiles reminded her that simple appreciation carried remarkable power. As she walked quietly through the silent corridors before bedtime, the castle felt peaceful and welcoming. She drifted into restful sleep, knowing that kindness, shared each day, quietly strengthened every corner of the kingdom with lasting harmony forever. The castle clock did not exist, yet every day followed a familiar rhythm, guided by sunrise, church bells, and changing shadows across the stone courtyard. The queen quickly learned to recognize each part of the day without counting hours. Morning brought prayers and meetings. Midday welcomed visitors and household duties, while evenings offered quiet reflection beside the fire. Although royal life appeared luxurious from afar, it demanded constant discipline and careful attention to countless details. Every promise had to be remembered, every guest treated with respect, and every decision considered wisely before action. These daily routines gradually became comforting rather than exhausting. They reminded the queen that a peaceful kingdom depended not upon extraordinary moments alone, but upon ordinary responsibilities completed faithfully with patience, humility, kindness, and unwavering dedication through every passing season of her remarkable life together. As the years continued, the queen became known not only for her royal position, but also for her understanding of ordinary people. She often asked about farmers, craftsmen, merchants, and families living beyond the castle walls. Advisors brought reports about harvests, village needs, and challenges faced by the kingdom. Instead of ignoring these matters, she listened carefully and searched for peaceful solutions. During special occasions, she visited towns where crowds gathered to welcome her with music and flowers. These journeys allowed her to see the world beyond the palace and understand the lives of those she served. The queen discovered that a crown was not only a symbol of power, but also a promise of responsibility. Through compassion and careful leadership, she created a legacy that would be remembered long after her own footsteps disappeared from the ancient castle halls. The queen's reputation slowly traveled beyond the borders of her own kingdom. Foreign visitors arrived, carrying stories of her fairness, wisdom, and gentle approach to leadership. Some rulers expected to find a powerful figure surrounded by fear and strict commands, but they discovered someone who valued understanding above pride. During diplomatic meetings, she welcomed guests with respect and listened carefully to their concerns. Her peaceful nature helped create friendships between kingdoms that had once viewed each other with suspicion. Inside the castle, scribes recorded these important moments, preserving memories of agreements and celebrations for future generations. The queen knew that every peaceful conversation could prevent future conflicts. As another evening arrived, she looked across the quiet lands from her tower window and felt grateful for the chance to bring harmony to so many lives throughout the kingdom. The queen's journey from a young bride to a respected ruler was filled with countless lessons hidden inside ordinary moments. She discovered that leadership was not always found in grand ceremonies or powerful speeches. Often, it appeared in quiet decisions made behind closed doors, in helping someone who needed support, or in choosing peace instead of anger. The people around her slowly recognized these qualities and trusted her more with each passing year. Servants who once watched carefully now greeted her with genuine affection. Noble families who questioned her abilities began seeking her advice. The queen understood that respect could never be demanded. It had to be earned through consistent actions. Beneath the golden crown and royal clothing was simply a person who learned, grew, and cared deeply for the kingdom she called home. The passing years brought many changes to the kingdom, but the queen remained a symbol of stability and hope. New generations grew up hearing stories about her kindness, patience, and thoughtful decisions. Young children who once watched her from village roads became adults who remembered her gentle smile and welcoming words. Inside the castle, old servants shared memories of her early days, when she first arrived as a nervous bride searching for confidence. They remembered how much she had changed through courage and determination. The queen often reflected upon those early struggles and felt thankful for every challenge that helped shape her character. She learned that difficult beginnings could lead to beautiful endings. Beneath the quiet stars above the castle, she found peace, knowing her journey had created something meaningful for everyone around her. The queen continued her duties with the same calm spirit that had guided her since arriving at the castle many years before. Each morning, she walked through familiar halls where countless memories surrounded her. The cold stone walls that once felt distant now carried stories of friendship, growth, and important moments. She noticed small details others often ignored, like flowers blooming beside old pathways or sunlight entering through narrow windows. These simple things reminded her that beauty could exist even within ordinary days. The queen encouraged those around her to appreciate small joys instead of always searching for greatness. Her wisdom came not from books alone, but from years of experience, mistakes, and lessons learned. Slowly, her name became connected with compassion, patience, and the peaceful strength of a true royal leader. As another quiet season arrived, the queen spent more time reflecting on the journey that had brought her so far. She remembered the nervous young girl who once entered the castle, surrounded by unfamiliar faces and unknown expectations. That memory remained important because it reminded her how much courage could grow from uncertainty. She often shared her experiences with younger members of the royal household, teaching them that mistakes were not signs of weakness, but opportunities for learning. The queen believed true wisdom came from understanding both success and failure. During peaceful evenings, she sat beside the fireplace, watching flames dance across the room while remembering old challenges and victories. The castle was no longer a place of fear. It had become a home filled with memories, lessons, and a lifetime of quiet achievements. The queen's influence reached far beyond the castle walls, touching the lives of people she would never meet personally. Farmers spoke of her fairness, merchants remembered her respect, and travelers shared stories of a ruler who listened before making decisions. These simple conversations traveled from village to village, creating a reputation built on trust rather than fear. Inside the palace, advisors often praised her ability to remain calm during uncertain times. She understood that kingdoms were not only built with stone walls and powerful armies, but also with the loyalty and happiness of the people living within them. Every evening, as candles illuminated the quiet rooms, the queen reflected on the importance of kindness. She knew that true greatness was measured not by treasures collected, but by the positive memories left behind forever. The final chapters of the Queen's story were not marked by grand battles or dramatic victories, but by countless peaceful moments that revealed her true character. She continued walking through the same gardens, visiting the same halls, and meeting the same people who had shared her long journey. Time had changed her appearance, but her gentle spirit remained untouched. Younger generations came to her for advice, hoping to learn from the wisdom she had gathered throughout her remarkable life. She always reminded them that power was temporary, but kindness could survive for centuries. As evening shadows covered the castle, the queen looked back with gratitude at every challenge, every friendship, and every lesson. Her story became a quiet reminder that even the smallest acts of compassion could create a lasting legacy forever. The queen's later years were filled with quiet reflection and peaceful moments inside the castle she had grown to love. The halls that once felt unfamiliar now carried the voices of generations who had lived, worked, and celebrated within those ancient walls. She enjoyed watching young children play in the gardens, reminding her of the innocence she had left behind many years earlier. Although her responsibilities had changed, her desire to help others remained strong. She spent time sharing stories, offering advice, and teaching lessons learned from a lifetime of experience. The queen understood that every person, regardless of status, carried their own struggles and dreams. As the evening candles flickered softly around her chamber, she felt grateful for the journey that transformed fear into courage and uncertainty into lasting wisdom. The queen often thought about the many young brides who would one day enter castles just as she once had. She hoped they would discover courage within themselves and understand that their voices could bring meaningful change. Through her own experiences, she learned that royal life was not only about beautiful clothing, grand celebrations, or living behind strong stone walls. It was about responsibility, patience, and caring for countless people who depended on her decisions. She encouraged future generations to lead with compassion rather than pride. Outside the castle, seasons continued changing as forests grew, rivers flowed, and villages expanded. Inside, her memories remained woven into every corner of the palace. The queen's greatest treasure was not gold or jewels, but the love and respect she earned through a lifetime of kindness. The queen's story continued to inspire people long after the years of her youth had passed. Travelers carried tales of her kindness across distant roads, sharing memories of a ruler who valued peace above conflict. Inside the castle, old portraits showed her journey from a young, uncertain bride to a wise and respected queen. Each painting captured a different chapter of her remarkable life. She often stood before these portraits, remembering the people who helped shape her path. Advisors, servants, friends, and family had all played important roles in her transformation. The queen knew that no achievement belonged to one person alone. Every success was created through cooperation, trust, and shared effort. Beneath the quiet castle skies, her legacy continued growing with each passing generation. The queen's peaceful influence continued even during moments when the kingdom faced unexpected challenges. Storms damaged crops, disagreements appeared between noble families, and difficult choices required careful thinking. Yet she remained calm, reminding everyone that patience often revealed solutions hidden by fear. She gathered advisors, listened to different opinions, and searched for answers that protected both the powerful and the ordinary people. Her ability to bring people together became one of her greatest strengths. Many rulers believed strength came from control, but the queen discovered that trust created something far stronger. Through every challenge, she showed that compassion and wisdom could guide a kingdom through uncertainty. As another quiet night covered the castle, the queen rested peacefully, knowing her efforts had created a safer and kinder world for future generations. The queen's name became connected with peace and understanding throughout the kingdom. Children heard stories about her thoughtful choices, while older generations remembered the difficult days she had overcome. She never forgot the lessons learned during her earliest years inside the castle. Those memories kept her humble and reminded her that everyone deserved respect, regardless of their position. During quiet mornings, she sometimes walked through the gardens where she once felt lost and alone. Now those same paths carried memories of friendship, hope, and countless peaceful moments. The flowers, trees, and fountains seemed to tell the story of her transformation. From a frightened young bride to a wise leader, her journey proved that courage could grow slowly over time. Every step had created a legacy built upon kindness, patience, and compassion. The queen often wondered how future generations would remember her life and the choices she had made. She understood that time slowly carried away names, buildings, and treasures, but meaningful actions could remain forever. Because of this, she focused less on personal glory and more on creating a better future for others. She supported education, encouraged kindness among nobles, and helped establish traditions that brought people together. The castle continued standing proudly above the surrounding lands, but its strongest foundation was not made of stone. It was built from trust, respect, and memories shared by countless people. On peaceful evenings, the queen listened to the distant sounds of the kingdom and felt thankful. Her journey had shown that a quiet heart could create an extraordinary impact across many generations. The queen's final years inside the castle were filled with peaceful memories and quiet moments of reflection. She spent more time in the gardens, watching the changing seasons that had witnessed so much of her life. Every flower, pathway, and ancient tree reminded her of important moments from the past. She remembered her first uncertain steps through the castle gates and smiled at how greatly everything had changed. The people around her noticed that wisdom had brought a special calmness to her presence. She no longer worried about proving herself because her actions had already shown her true character. The queen understood that a meaningful life was not measured by years or possessions, but by the kindness shared with others. Her heart remained grateful for every chapter of her remarkable journey. The castle became quieter as the queen grew older, yet her presence continued bringing comfort to everyone around her. Servants who had known her for many years often shared stories of her early struggles and remarkable growth. They remembered how a young bride once entered the castle with uncertainty, but slowly became a source of guidance and hope. The queen enjoyed hearing these memories because they reminded her that every difficult moment had a purpose. She encouraged others to face challenges with patience and courage, just as she had done. During peaceful evenings, she watched the sunset from the highest tower, seeing the same lands she had protected for decades. The gentle breeze carried familiar sounds from villages below, reminding her that her greatest achievement was the happiness of her people. The queen's journey became a story that parents shared with their children during quiet evenings beside warm fireplaces. They spoke about her courage, her patience, and the kindness she showed throughout her years of leadership. Young listeners imagined the grand castle, the peaceful gardens, and the wise queen walking through ancient halls filled with history. Although many details slowly became legends, the heart of her story remained unchanged. She taught people that true greatness was not found in wealth, power, or fame. Instead, it lived in compassion, understanding, and the ability to help others. As generations passed, her name continued to bring inspiration. The castle walls eventually aged, but the lessons created by her life remained strong, like a gentle light shining through the darkness of time. The quiet rhythm of castle life continued as the queen spent her remaining years surrounded by familiar faces and cherished memories. She enjoyed simple moments that once seemed ordinary, but had become precious treasures. A morning walk through the garden, a peaceful conversation beside the fireplace, or the sound of birds outside her window brought her great happiness. She realized that the smallest moments often carried the deepest meaning. The queen no longer looked back with sadness at the challenges of her youth. Instead, she saw them as important lessons that shaped her heart and strengthened her spirit. Every struggle had prepared her for the responsibilities she carried. As the evening sky turned golden above the castle, she felt peaceful, knowing her journey had touched many lives with kindness and wisdom. The queen often sat quietly in her chamber during the late evenings, listening to the gentle sounds of the castle settling into rest. The crackling fireplace, distant footsteps, and soft night winds created a peaceful atmosphere that reminded her of countless memories. She thought about the people she had met, the lessons she had learned, and the changes she had witnessed throughout her lifetime. Every person who crossed her path had left a small mark upon her heart. She realized that a kingdom was not only made of castles, crowns, and traditions. It was created by the connections between people and the kindness they shared. As the candles slowly burned lower, the queen felt a deep sense of gratitude for the extraordinary journey that transformed her life forever. The queen's wisdom became one of the greatest treasures of the kingdom, passed from one generation to another through stories and memories. Young rulers studied her decisions and learned that patience could be more powerful than force. She had shown that listening carefully, understanding others, and choosing kindness could create lasting peace. Although many years had passed since her arrival as a nervous bride, the lessons from that time remained close to her heart. She remembered the fear she once carried and felt proud of the courage she discovered along the way. The castle continued standing beneath the changing skies, holding countless stories within its ancient walls. Among all those stories, hers remained special because it showed how a quiet beginning could become a remarkable journey filled with hope and wisdom. The Queen's days slowly became filled with peaceful reflection as she looked back upon the many chapters of her life. She remembered the excitement of her wedding day, the uncertainty of entering a new kingdom, and the countless lessons learned inside the castle walls. Each memory carried a special meaning because every moment had helped shape who she became. She understood that life was a journey of constant change, where fear could transform into courage and challenges could become valuable experiences. The Queen often reminded younger generations that greatness was not achieved in a single day. It was created through small choices made with honesty, patience, and compassion. Beneath the quiet stars above the kingdom, her story continued shining like a gentle light that guided others toward kindness and hope. The Queen's legacy continued growing even after many years had passed. People across the kingdom remembered her not for the crown she wore, but for the compassion she showed. Stories described how she listened to the worries of others, helped during difficult times, and treated everyone with dignity. These memories became more valuable than any treasures stored inside the royal chambers. Future generations learned from her example and understood that leadership required both strength and a gentle heart. The castle remained a symbol of history, but the Queen's true monument existed in the lives she had touched. As seasons changed and years moved forward, her story continued traveling from one person to another. Like a quiet song carried by the wind, her message of kindness and hope never completely disappeared. The Queen spent her final seasons surrounded by the peaceful beauty of the kingdom she had served for so many years. She watched young families grow, new buildings rise, and traditions continue through changing times. Although the world around her transformed, the values she believed in remained the same. She still valued honesty, patience, and kindness above everything else. The Queen often shared stories from her early days, explaining how uncertainty had slowly become confidence through experience. Those who listened found comfort in her words because they understood that even great leaders faced moments of doubt. Her life became proof that courage was not the absence of fear, but the decision to continue despite it. Under the quiet evening sky, her heart remained peaceful, knowing her journey had created lasting memories. The Queen's story reached its final chapters with the same quiet dignity that had guided her entire life. She no longer measured her days by royal ceremonies or important meetings, but by the peaceful moments shared with those she loved. The gardens, the castle halls, and the familiar voices around her became precious reminders of a journey filled with growth. She often looked toward the distant hills and remembered the young girl who once arrived with uncertainty and fear. That girl could never have imagined the strength she would discover within herself. Through patience, kindness, and courage, she had created a life that inspired countless others. As the evening light faded across the kingdom, the Queen felt thankful for every challenge, every lesson, and every beautiful memory she carried. The kingdom continued moving forward, but the memory of the Queen remained alive in the hearts of many people. Children grew up hearing stories about her wisdom, while elders shared personal memories of her kindness and generosity. The castle became a place where her lessons were preserved through books, paintings, and stories told beside warm fires. Visitors who entered the ancient halls often felt connected to the remarkable woman who had once walked those same paths. Her life reminded everyone that even a person who begins with uncertainty can create something meaningful through patience and dedication. The queen's greatest achievement was not the wealth of the kingdom or the beauty of the castle. It was the trust and love she built among people who remembered her with respect and gratitude. The final memories of the queen were preserved carefully by those who had witnessed her remarkable journey. Scribes wrote about her decisions, artists painted her image, and storytellers shared her lessons with future generations. They remembered a young bride who arrived with uncertainty, but discovered strength through patience and courage. They remembered a ruler who chose understanding instead of anger, and compassion instead of pride. As years passed, the castle changed, but the meaning behind her life remained untouched. Her story became a gentle reminder that every person has the ability to grow beyond their fears. The Queen's journey showed that true greatness does not come from titles or treasures. It comes from the kindness we leave behind and the positive difference we create in the lives of others. The Queen's name continued to live through the peaceful traditions she had created during her years of leadership. Long after her time, people still followed many customs that reflected her values of fairness and compassion. The castle remained a place where generations gathered, shared stories, and remembered the lessons of the past. Travelers who visited the kingdom often heard about the remarkable queen who transformed challenges into opportunities for growth. Her journey became more than a story about royalty. It became a story about courage, patience, and the power of a caring heart. Every generation discovered something new within her life, finding inspiration in the choices she made. Like the gentle glow of a candle in a dark room, her memory continued shining quietly through the passing centuries. The Queen's remarkable journey became a symbol of hope for people who face their own uncertain beginnings. Her story showed that a person did not need a perfect start to create a meaningful life. She had entered the castle as a young bride, filled with questions, but years of experience transformed her into someone admired by many. Through every challenge, she discovered the importance of patience, understanding, and inner strength. The halls that once seemed cold and unfamiliar became witnesses to her growth and achievements. Even after many years, people remembered the gentle queen who brought peace to her kingdom. Her legacy was not written only in books or carved into stone. It lived within the hearts of those who learned from her example and carried her wisdom forward. The Queen's story slowly became a treasured memory shared throughout the kingdom. In quiet villages and distant towns, people continued telling stories about her gentle leadership and thoughtful choices. Parents explained to their children that true strength came from patience, kindness, and understanding others. The castle where she had lived remained standing above the land, carrying echoes of countless moments from her extraordinary life. Every hallway, garden path, and ancient room held memories of laughter, challenges, and peaceful days. Although many years had passed, the lessons from her journey remained alive. People learned that even small acts of kindness could create changes that lasted far beyond a single lifetime. The Queen's legacy became a reminder that compassion could be one of the greatest powers a person could ever possess. The peaceful memory of the Queen continued traveling through time, reaching people who never knew her personally. Historians studied her life, artists created beautiful paintings, and storytellers preserved her journey through generations. They discovered that behind the royal title was a person who experienced fear, uncertainty, and difficult choices, just like anyone else. What made her special was the way she responded to those challenges. She chose patience when others rushed, kindness when others became angry, and wisdom when situations became complicated. The Queen's life became an example that true leadership came from the heart. As the centuries moved forward, her story remained a quiet source of inspiration, Like a gentle melody carried across distant lands, her message of compassion continued touching hearts everywhere. The Queen's influence remained strong, even as new rulers and new generations appeared across the kingdom. Many leaders studied her decisions, hoping to understand how she created peace without relying on fear or force. They learned that listening carefully and respecting different voices could solve problems more effectively than anger. The old castle library preserved many writings about her life, allowing future generations to discover the wisdom she had shared. Visitors often stood quietly before her portraits, imagining the remarkable journey behind the calm expression they saw. From a nervous young bride to a beloved queen, her transformation became a powerful lesson about personal growth. Her story reminded everyone that greatness was not something people were born with, but something they built through choices, experiences, and compassion. The Queen's final lessons were remembered not through grand monuments, but through the everyday actions of the people she had inspired. A kind word, a patient decision, and a helping hand became reflections of the values she had shared. Many believed that this was the greatest gift she left behind. The kingdom continued changing with time, but the spirit of compassion remained alive among its people. In the castle gardens where she once walked, new flowers bloomed each spring, creating a peaceful reminder of her connection with nature and life. Visitors often paused there, imagining the Queen's quiet footsteps and thoughtful moments. Her story showed that a person's influence could continue long after their own journey ended, carried forward by the kindness they planted in the hearts of others. The Queen's story became a timeless reminder that every life contains moments of uncertainty and transformation. She had entered the castle without knowing what awaited her, yet she discovered strength through every challenge she faced. The lessons she learned were not only valuable for royalty, but for anyone searching for courage in difficult times. People remembered her because she understood the importance of empathy, patience, and humility. She showed that a gentle heart could influence an entire kingdom without needing to command through fear. As years passed, her name remained connected with peace and wisdom. The ancient castle continued watching over the land, holding memories of the remarkable queen who proved that true greatness came from the love, respect, and kindness shared with others throughout a lifetime. The Queen's memory continued living through the peaceful traditions that shaped the kingdom for many years. Festivals, ceremonies, and gatherings often included stories about her wisdom and compassion. People gathered around warm fires during winter evenings, sharing tales of the ruler who cared deeply for everyone she served. Children listened carefully, imagining the grand castle and the gentle queen who walked through its halls. These stories became more than simple memories. They became lessons about kindness, courage, and responsibility. The Queen had shown that even one person could create a lasting difference through thoughtful actions. As time moved forward, her name remained a symbol of hope and understanding. The kingdom never forgot the woman who transformed uncertainty into strength and left behind a legacy built on compassion and peace. The Queen's journey had finally become a story that belonged to everyone, not just the royal family. Farmers, craftsmen, merchants, and nobles all found different meanings within her life. Some admired her courage, others remembered her kindness, and many respected the peaceful changes she brought to the kingdom. The castle remained a place where her memories were carefully protected through books and traditions. Every generation added new stories, keeping her spirit alive through time. She had discovered that a person's true legacy was not measured by the treasures they collected or the titles they carried. Instead, It was found in the hearts they touched and the hope they created. The Queen's quiet example continued reminding people that compassion could survive beyond centuries and inspire countless lives forever. The Queen's legacy continued shining quietly as the years moved forward and the kingdom entered new chapters of history. Although new castles were built and new rulers appeared, the lessons from her life remained valuable. People still remembered her belief that patience and kindness could overcome many difficulties. Her story was shared during peaceful evenings when families gathered together and listened beside warm fires. They spoke about the young bride who once felt lost but discovered confidence through experience and determination. Her journey became a reminder that change was possible for anyone willing to learn and grow. The old castle stood as a silent witness to her remarkable life, holding memories of laughter, challenges, and moments of hope. Through every passing generation, her message of compassion continued living. The story of the Queen continued traveling through time, reminding people that kindness could leave a deeper mark than power or wealth. Her example encouraged future generations to choose patience during struggles and compassion during moments of conflict. The kingdom remembered her not because of the crown she wore, but because of the humanity she showed to everyone around her. Old servants shared memories of her gentle words, while young leaders studied her decisions carefully. The castle gardens, where she found peace, remained symbols of hope and renewal. Every spring, new flowers appeared beside ancient paths, quietly representing the lasting beauty of her values. Through centuries, the Queen's message remained alive because it was built on respect, kindness, and understanding. Her journey proved that even a quiet life could inspire. The Queen's remarkable journey reached its peaceful conclusion, but the lessons from her life continued to shine through the ages. She began as a young bride entering an unfamiliar world, carrying fears and questions about her future. Through patience, courage, and compassion, she transformed those uncertainties into wisdom and strength. The castle that once seemed cold became a place filled with memories of friendship, kindness, and hope. Her story reminded everyone that greatness was not created through power alone, but through the way a person treated others. Long after her footsteps disappeared from the ancient halls, her values remained alive in the hearts of those who remembered her. Like a gentle light across a dark sky, the Queen's legacy continued inspiring generations with peace, kindness, and love. After the Queen's story ended, the castle remained a silent guardian of the memories created within its ancient walls. The halls that once echoed with royal footsteps continued holding whispers of the past. Visitors who entered the castle felt a connection to the generations who had lived there before. They walked through the gardens, admired the old towers, and imagined the Queen's peaceful moments beneath the trees. The story of her life reminded everyone that history was not only about battles and powerful rulers. It was also about ordinary emotions, personal growth, and the quiet choices that shaped the world. The Queen's journey became a beautiful example of how patience, kindness, and courage could transform a simple beginning into a meaningful legacy that survived far beyond her own time. The final chapter of the Queen's journey arrived quietly, just like the peaceful life she had built over many years. The castle remained beneath the open sky, surrounded by gardens, forests, and villages that carried memories of her kindness. People continued sharing her story, not because she was born into royalty, but because she learned how to become a true leader through patience and compassion. Her life showed that every challenge could become a lesson, and every uncertain beginning could lead to something beautiful. As the evening sun disappeared behind the hills, the castle stood proudly, holding the echoes of her remarkable journey. The Queen's name became a timeless reminder that kindness never truly fades. It continues living through every heart it touches, forever inspiring generations. And now, dear friend, our peaceful journey through the quiet history of a medieval royal bride has come to an end. From the cold stone halls of an ancient castle to the peaceful gardens where the Queen found comfort, we have wandered together through a life shaped not by grand battles, but by patience, kindness, and quiet courage. As you rest tonight, remember that history is often written in small moments. A gentle word, a thoughtful choice, a quiet act of compassion. These simple things can leave the deepest mark upon the world. If this story helped you relax, drift towards sleep, or simply brought you a moment of peace, I hope you'll join me again for another slow journey into the forgotten corners of history. Until then, let the candles fade, let the castle grow silent, and let your thoughts become as calm as the evening sky. Sleep well, dream peacefully, and thank you for spending this quiet evening with SlumberMist.